Well, maybe this will help it feel a little bit better. So let's start, feet together. We're going to turn the toes out, then turn the heels out. Lovely stuff. Let's rest the hands by the sides, give the eyes a little close, and just take some nice deep breaths. Slow in through the nose, and then nice and steady out through the nose or through the mouth. You want to feel that breath expanding through the ribs and through the lungs, so the shoulders stay nice and heavy. We might feel our tummy expanding or our ribs opening out to the side. Then we'll bring the hands to the hips. We'll still keep those eyes closed. We're going to shift our way over onto our left foot, and then through the middle, and then over towards the right. Let's keep moving like that, nice and steady, keeping that breath nice and controlled. Lovely. Then we're going to start moving that weight forwards and backwards. So we shift the weight into the toes and then sink it back and into the heels. Lovely. Then we're going to find what feels like the middle. Eyes still rested closed. Let's just give the knees a soft little bend and straighten, like we're doing some nice little mini squats. Lovely. Then keeping those knees just soft but straight, we're going to then work into pelvic tilt. So we're tipping the hip bones forward, sticking our bottom out, creating a nice curve through the lower back, and then tucking the bottom up and underneath. You might feel a nice little stretch either through the low back or through the tummy muscles as you're doing this. Then find what feels like the middle. Keeping those hands either on your hips or resting down to the sides. We're going to roll the shoulders right up towards the ears and back. And if you feel like there's any other little movements you need to do for the neck or for the shoulders at this point, feel free to do that now if you need it. Maybe you're swinging the arms a little bit more or rolling through the neck. Lovely. Changing direction with those shoulder rolls if you haven't done already, by the way. Got that little bit. Nice, and let's give the eyes an open. Let's reach the left hand up overhead. Give ourselves a nice little stretch. Imagine being pulled up by those fingertips. Nice, and then back down. Let's swap right arm up towards the sky. Lovely, let's keep going with those arms alternating, one and then the other. You can really allow the back to extend and stretch, so you're getting this nice opening through the chest, bit of extension through the spine, whatever feels right for you. Lovely. Then we're going to work a little bit of coordination with some windmill. So we'll have the left arm up towards the sky. Left arm's going to come down, right arm's going to sweep up towards the sky. Both arms going to cross in the middle. Nice. Let's keep going. Good. And for this, just have a little think about what that weight feels like through the feet. Have we got that weight evenly distributed? Lovely, let's change direction. So we'll have right arm up towards the sky. Let's sweep that one down. So, yeah. Right arm up, nice, round. There we go, and then back up, nice. Good, couple more. It always gets people this early. This is why I've never done this one. Lovely, let's do one more. Nice, let's bring both arms up towards the sky. We're going to pull the elbows down, spread the fingers nice and wide, and really think about squeezing the shoulder blades back and together, opening up through the chest. Lovely, take a big breath in here. Let it go. As we breath in, we're going to take those arms in, and then push out, exhale, open nice and wide. Lovely, inhale, squeeze in. Exhale out loud. Nice, inhale in. Exhale. Good, one more, inhale. Exhale. Keep the hands in that nice little W or cactus shape. We're going to turn the chest towards the left-hand side. Keep the hips facing forward if you can, nice. And then twist back through center, over towards the right. Nice. Breath in brings you to the middle. Breath out, over towards the left. Breath in, central. Breath out, right. Nice, let's do one more. And out. And to the last side, breath in. And out. Lovely, come back to the center, give the arms a nice little shimmy shake. We'll keep those feet hip width apart. Let's roll up onto the tiptoes, into some calf raises and back down. Lovely. Nice, we'll sync it with our breath. Inhale to rise, exhale to lower. Really think about squeezing your bottom cheeks to keep the hips nice and stable. Good, lovely. And we'll move into a little bit of foot series because I quite like that. So we'll come up onto the tiptoes. We keep the heels lifted, the knees bend, so we come into a squat. We lower the heels down. We then straighten the legs. Up onto the toes. Bend the knees, lower the heels, up tall. We inhale up, exhale to bend. Inhale, heels lower, exhale, tall. Nice, we keep going, up, exhale, heels lower, stand tall, up. Good, two more. Lovely, last one. Hey, is everyone still with me? Yeah, good, okay. Let's step the right foot a little bit forward. We're gonna come into some curtsy lunges. So the left leg is gonna step on a diagonal behind us. We allow ourselves to lower down, bring that knee towards the floor, back up. We're just going to stick with that same side. Back and across. Yeah, perfect. And up, nice. And up, nice. Good, keep going. Couple more. You can, no, you are, just you can go a little bit further back with that leg and it might make you feel a bit more balanced. Yeah, that's it. There you go, nice. Good, two more. Lovely, let's swap over towards the other side. Right leg steps back. Good. Again, a little bit further back with the foot, yeah. There you go, good. Nice. Good, three more from here. Slow them down if you need to, no need to rush. And last one. Nice, good. Let's make our way to the back of our mat or top of our mat where it says northern. That makes it easy, doesn't it? And then we're going to go through our roll down. So feet are hip width apart. We start the movement from the head and the shoulders curling through the spine and rolling ourselves all the way down towards the floor. Do you take your time with it? Find a nice little stretch in the back. When you get to the bottom, let's just take hold of the backs of the ankles. Take a big breath in, and then just see if you can give the legs a little straight and send the hips up towards the sky, just to where it feels tolerable. Take a little breath there. And then exhale, release, and roll yourselves back up to standing. Take a little pause when you get to the top, then we'll repeat. So inhale. Exhale, start that curling up all the way down through the spine. Again, when we get to the bottom, let's take holds of the backs of the ankles. Send the hips up towards the sky, a little straighten through the backs of the legs. Take a breath there in that stretch. And then on the next exhale, release the hands, rolling all the way up to standing. Lovely. Last one. Inhale. And exhale, roll and curl through the spine, nice and slow down towards the ground. Okay, this time we're going to bring the hands to the floor, walk them forwards. So we're in a nice sort of high plank position. We're going to send the hips up nice and high, backwards into a downward dog. You can have the knees generously bent, maybe pedaling through the feet a little bit just to give the backs of the legs a stretch. Okay, then from here we're going to make our way to sort of a 4-point kneeling position, but keeping the knees hovered. So we shift the weight forward, keep the knees lifted from the ground, really pushing away from the floor with the hands and toes. Send the hips back up high towards your downward dog. We're going to move with our breath. So we exhale to shift ourselves forward. And then inhale, we shift the weight back. Nice, keep moving with your breath. Exhale brings us forward, letting those knees bend and hover. Inhale, we shift back. Lovely. Good, nice. Now if you're happy here and this feels like the right level for you, please stay there. Otherwise, when we shift that weight forward, we keep the knees straight. We come forwards into our plank position. We're looking for a nice long line from head to toe. Hips then shift back into our downward dog. So we exhale forwards into our plank or into our bent knee option, and then hips back up into our downward dog. Yeah, lovely. Nice. We're here for a few more cycles. Good, 2 more. Lovely. The next time your weight's shifted forward, so coming back into that plank position, we're either going to stay high or lower the knees to the floor. We come through 4 press-ups. So chest down towards the ground and back up. Picking the variation that's better for you. Once you've done the 4, lower yourselves all the way onto the floor, onto your tummies. Lovely. If you do have your head block, if you want to grab hold of that, you're going to rest your forehead onto it, laid on your front, hands just either side of your head. So we're just going to start with some movements with the head and neck into our sort of swan dive. So chin stays tucked. We're imagining we're being pulled up by our shirt tag at the back to lift the forehead up off of that block and then lower down. So the eyes are going to stay looking down towards the ground. We're keeping lots of length through the back of the neck and just doing some gentle lifts and lowers. Yeah, lovely. So here, let's still make sure we're syncing with our breath. So we exhale to push away from the floor and inhale to lower down. So we've obviously built a bit of speed in to start off with, so take a little moment just to cool off. So Mia, just try and keep that chin tucked in a little bit more as you come up. Yeah, nice, that's it, lovely. Lovely, then we'll rest the forehead back down towards our head block. We're going to move the hands so they're palm up, fingers pointing towards our toes. Yeah, so we've got arms out long. Okay, from here we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades back, lifting up away from the floor, lift the hands from the ground as well. And we come into some short, sharp pulses with the arms, a little bit like hundreds, but laid on our tummies. Try and get those arms moving with a little bit of pace. So we're ba, 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 ba. Nice, get the breath nice and steady. Then on our next exhale, we're gonna lift the head away from the head block, keeping that chin tucked in like we've just done. And inhale, we lower down. Exhale, we lift. Inhale, we lower. There is the option just to keep that forehead rested if that feels better for you. Lovely. If you are starting to feel this a little bit too much in the lower back, really think about pressing the hips down into the floor, and that should help a little bit with that core control. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest the forehead down, rest the hands down. So palms are still face up, but rested onto the floor with the hands. We're then going to lift with the hands away from the ground. We're going to turn the palms to face down and sweep the arms either bent or straight, so the hands come to match where the head is, rest down towards the floor. Hands will lift and we reverse that movement, sending the hands down towards the feet, palms face up, resting onto the mat. So we lift, sweep towards the head, hands rest, lift, sweep, palms face up and lower down. Lovely, nice, that's it. Nice. So we're here for a few reps, just get that breath nice and steady, settle down from that work with breaststroke prep. Do think about those shoulder blades squeezing together as we're moving those arms. Good, nice. And then last little bit of work here for those shoulders. We'll have a little try if we can again lift that forehead away from the ground and then get those arms to sweep overhead. You can still rest in between each movement. Really thinking about pressing those hips into the floor to prevent too much lower back strain. Option to rest the forehead if that feels better for you. And really think about those feet being nice and active, pressing down into the mat to create a little bit of stability lower down. Yeah, lovely. Let's go for one more repetition here. Brill. Then from there, let's bring the hands just underneath the shoulders. We'll press ourselves up through 4-point kneeling. We'll lift those knees from the floor, hips up high towards our downward dog again. Give those legs a nice little pedal. If you want to find a little moment of stillness in your downward dog, you're more than welcome to. If you want to move through a thread the needle stretch, lowering the knees to the ground and opening an arm up towards the sky, that's an option as well if you want to. We're all stuck with downward dog, that's good. Okay, so from here let's shift forwards into that plank again, creating that nice long line from head to toe. We're gonna either stay high, twisting the hips around towards the right, or we lower down to the knees if we need to, or bending the knees to twist. Lovely, back through the center, up into that plank, over towards the other side with the hips and with the feet, back through center, up into that downwards dog. Nice. Shifting that weight forward. Sorry, my direction was terrible on the last one. So knees can either stay straight or we're bending into that knee hovered position, twisting through center to the other side. And hips up high to that downward dog. Lovely. A few more repetitions, picking the option that's better for you. Good. Lovely. Hips up high to downward dog. One more round. Lovely. Hips up high. Take a little moment of stillness here in that downward dog, or lowering to the knees into a little child's pose, giving the wrists a little bit of a rotate, whichever option feels good. I'm going to take a couple of deep breaths. Oh, came out of nowhere. On our next round, we are going to come back into those plank rotations, but we're going to allow our hand to lift and move away. So we'll come back up into that plank. As the hips shift towards one direction, we're going to take that same arm up, extend it up towards the sky, so we really open that chest up. Lovely, back through the middle, over towards the other side, take the other arm up, back down, hips shift high to downward dog. Lovely, exhale, shift the weight forward. Rotate first with the hips, then allow the arm to come up. Nice. Through to the other side. Lovely. We've got 2 more rounds here. Take a little break through child's pose if you need it. An option to bend the knees if that is better for you. Good. Lovely. Last round. Nice. And then shifting back to downward dog or taking a little rest through child's pose. How are people's hands and wrists feeling? Are we okay? Yeah? Because I've got one more little bit in side plank. I just wanted to check that everyone's still with me. Take a little breather, take a drink if you need it. If you have it. Okay, so we're coming, I'm changing my mind. So we're going to press back up into our downward dog. So we're still using that as our little rest stop. We shift the weight forwards into our plank from here. Rather than those rotations, we're going to keep nice and long. Right leg's going to lift, sending the heel up towards the sky. Lower that right leg back down, left leg lifts and lowers. Hips come back up towards the sky. Lovely. Exhale, shift the weight forwards to plank. If it's too much being up high on the legs, you can lower down to the knees and then work on the lifts from there. And then after each 2 repetitions, sending the hips up high. Good. We're making sure as we lift those legs, we're keeping nice and strong in the core. So we're keeping the hips tucked in. Yeah, good, nice. Okay? You said you were okay. Ah! We've done a lot of shoulders. So let's go through one more round with those wherever you are. Hips up high. Lovely, and then we'll lower the knees down. Let's go through that thread the needle stretch. So we'll, in 4-point kneeling, open the right arm up towards the sky. And then we're going to tuck that right arm through the opposite side. If you want a little bit of a deeper stretch, maybe that left leg extends and we lift the heel and the left arm extends over. We get a nice little twist there if that feels good. Otherwise, you can just do an extra rep of that thread the needle if you prefer. And then let's move round to the other side. Left arm this time opens up towards the sky and threads through. And then again, right leg could kick back, lifting that heel and knee and extending that arm overhead. So you can keep the toes on the floor, sorry, when I say kick back. I'm impressed with your balance. Nice. And then you can unravel yourselves, bring yourselves back through the middle. Let's make our way into side lying. 2 options for position. So option 1, we've got our head blocked between our ear and shoulder. We're rested down onto the ground. Option 2, we come up onto our forearms. We have to be nice and active through the side body. So we've got forearm weight into our elbow. Pick wherever you want to be. Nice. So we'll have the bottom knee bent. We're going to straighten the top leg. From here, try and bring that leg back a little bit if you can do. Hand to the hip. And we're going to go through some side leg raises. So we lift that leg and lower with control. If we are lifted on that forearm, we're making sure we're nice and lifted with those lower ribs. A little bit of extra work for the core if we are higher. Good. Keep that breath nice and steady. Good. Good. If we are rested down onto the head block, we do make sure that we aren't collapsing into the ground, so we are still pulling that top hip away from the floor to create that little bit of lift. Pull in through here. There. Nice. Good. Oh, don't roll back there. Try and pull that top hip away. There. Pull your tummy muscles down and in. There. That's it. Nice. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Keep that leg lifted. We move into side kick. So we point the toe, we draw that leg forward, so we're bending at the hip. We flex the foot, we sweep the leg back as far as we can, keeping that tummy nice and stable. Good. Breath's nice and steady here. Use that to be a little bit of a distraction. Good. We're here for 5 more, nice and steady. Make sure we're not losing those ribs. Good, 3 more. Stick with it. Good, 2. And last one, forward. And back. Let's lower all the way down onto our sides if you are lifted. Bring the knees to bend one on top of the other. Hands come like a nice little sandwich, one in front of the other, and we'll open ourselves up to face behind us into a nice little twist. Maybe stay in that twist for a minute. Take a breath or 2. And then bring yourselves back around to the front. Nice. Let's do 1 more. All the way back. Lovely. Nice. 1 last little bit. So find that side lying position that you chose, or you can come all the way down if you were lifted. There's no qualms. So lifting that top leg nice and straight. See if we can just get it to hover. We come into 1 leg circle. So we're drawing circles with that toe. Imagine there's a little wall at the bottom of our bodies. It's going to feel quite achy, but that's all right. Stick with it. We're not going to be here long. Really think about that lifting away from the floor and other direction with those circles. Try and bring that leg back a little bit. It will be creeping forward. Try and open that hip up. Nice. Good. That's it. Nice. Lovely. We're here for 3, 2, good, and 1, and have a rest. Give your glute a little massage or a whack, whatever feels like you need. Okay, we'll make our way onto our backs. From here, if you do want to bring your head block, then it just gives you a nice little comfy position to rest the back of your head onto. That can feel a little bit comfier. We're going to bring the feet so they're hip width apart. We've got knees bent. We'll bring the hands to the hips, and we're just going to rock through a couple of pelvic tilts. So we're squashing the small of the back down into the ground and then releasing and allowing that low back curve to return. So just move in between those positions. Okay, then find what feels like neutral for you. Maybe resting the hands onto the tummy, and with the next couple of breaths, just seeing if as you exhale you can feel your tummy muscles, your core, just switch on that little bit. Just get nice and firm under your fingertips. Okay, Then from here, we're going to extend the arms out long so their fingertips are pointing towards the feet. Lovely, just lifted above the floor. There we go. And then we're going to come into 100. So we've got some short, sharp pulses with those arms. Move a little bit quicker. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so whilst the head's still rested, let's try and get that breath under control. So we're breathing in for a few pulses and then breathing out for a few. Now you will find it helps with your tummy control to breathe out through the mouth with a little bit of power. That's going to help us as we go through. There's no one else really in the gym, so feel free to breathe out loud, it's okay. Okay, so we're keeping those arms going, keeping the breath steady. We're going to bring the left leg up into tabletop, so we've got the shin parallel to the ground. Keep the arms pulsing. We're here for a breath. And out. Then we're going to lower that left leg down. Keep the arms going. Right leg comes up. Keep the arms pulsing. Here for a breath. Let it go. Lower the leg down. Left leg up. And down. Right leg up. And down. Left leg's going to come up. We're going to bring the head away from our head block so we come into a nice little crunch. Keep those arms going. Good. Keep the head lifted. Left leg lowers. Right leg up. Nice. Keep alternating those legs. Left leg this time. Good. Right leg. Nice. Keep going. Breath's nice and steady. Good. Then our last little layer to add on, if we fancy it, rather than alternating those legs, we're going to bring both legs up into that tabletop position. Keep the arms pulsing, keep the breath steady. Really see if you can pull those shoulders up away from the floor that little bit more. Nice. Tap into that breath. We're here for 5. Good. 4. 3. 2. Good. And 1. Lower down. Legs out long, arms out long overhead. Take some nice big breaths in and out. Maybe you give the knees a bend, feet to the floor, and roll the knees from side to side, or hug the knees into the chest, whichever feels better for you. Or lying perfectly still, if that feels better. Nice. We're going to do a little bit of bridge. We'll do our side series and then we'll finish with some stretching. So we're on the home straight, we're nearly there. Okay, so if you don't mind, if you want to move your head block just out of the way, so you've got your head rested directly on the floor, we're going to walk the feet a little bit closer to our bottoms. Hands can be on the ground, and then we're going to start with the hips peeling up towards the ceiling, and then rolling down through the spine all the way to the floor. Good. We exhale to lift and inhale to lower. Nice. Keep going with your breath, exhaling. See if you can give each individual vertebra in your spine a nice little massage as you make your way up and down. Yeah, that's it. Nice. Lovely. So the next time that your hips are lifted, we're just going to come through a half range. So we're going to allow the hips to dip down halfway to the floor. And then we're going to squeeze those bottom cheeks and the hips up nice and high. And drop. And squeeze up. Drop. And squeeze. Nice. Drop. And squeeze. Lovely. Drop. And squeeze. Lovely. 2 more. And then lowering all the way down towards the ground. Nice. We're going to bring the hands so they're crossed over our shoulders. I'm going to go through the same thing again. So peel up, send the hips up nice and high. Then we come through those half ranges, drop down, squeeze up. Good. Nice. We're here for 5, 4. Just try and keep like a little bit more engagement through your back. So come back up again. So as you drop down, keep those ribs there. That's it. And then lift up. Good. Is that a little bit better? Yeah. Nice. And last one. Up. And back down. Uncross the hands. Bring them back down towards the floor. Send the hips up towards the sky. We're then going to come into some marches. So left leg lifts up. Lowers down. Right leg lifts up. Lowers down. If you can, keep the hips high whilst we do these marches, amazing. If you need to lower the legs, hips down and then reset, that is fine. Make sure we're keeping those hips nice and high as we're lifting. You've got more. Yeah, you do. Go on.
That's it.
That's already more than you had. There you go, nice. Lovely, last one to each side. Even yourselves out. Good. And lower down. Give the knees a little hug into your chest, maybe a little rock from side to side. How are people's glutes feeling? Are we done? Yeah? No? We're gonna do one more little round with the bridges. Your options are you stick with the marches, and that is a-okay with me. Option 2, once you're up, you lift one leg. We go through a few reps, single leg bridge up and back down. So you can pick whichever you like. If you're doing the single leg bridges, let's go for 5 reps on each side. Nice. And then once you have done those 5 to each side, give the knees a little hug into your chest, then I'll know that we're all done. Okay. And on to my favourite, we'll do a little bit of rolling like a ball. Now if you can't do that from the floor, use your hands to press you up, and then you can use your arms for a little bit of momentum to create that rock and roll. Oh yeah, that was nearly it. That was nearly it. Come all the way up. So just bring your knees into your knees there, bring your hands to the ground, hands there, and then roll onto your arms almost, so roll back. Yeah, and then use your hands to press you up. Perfect. Okay, lovely. Oh my God. I'm okay. I'm fine. That's never happened before. Yeah. So we'll meet in sitting. I'm just going to try and style it out. It didn't happen. So we'll meet in sitting. Let's make our way onto our other side and we'll finish with our side lying series. So you want to spin yourselves around. You're finding the option that you want to do, either up onto your shoulder or down onto your arm with your head block. Bottom leg's bent, top leg's nice and straight. We pull that leg back so we really get into that glute max. And then we're lifting and lowering. Good, keeping that breath nice and steady and controlled. Good, nice. Think about those ribs pulling up and in if we're on our side. Nice. And breath nice and steady. Your physio should know better. Nice, we're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We move into side kick. Keep that leg lifted. We point the toe, we sweep the leg forward. Flex the foot, draw that foot back. Try and keep that leg on a nice smooth level as we move it back and forth. Good. Really squeeze here. Try and keep nice and stable. Good, that's it, nice. And back, nice. But don't lose the leg. So as we come back, lift, 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 lift. There, nice. Good. We're here for 3, 2. Knee nice and straight if you can, Dave. Go on. And last one. Good. Lower all the way down. Bend both knees. Arms out in front, one on top of the other. And you can open up into that stretch, rolling round onto your back. Maybe stay in that twist for a breath or 2. And then you could unwind yourselves, maybe go through 1 more. And back. Nice. Last little bit on our sides. We come back up into what position we choose. Leg nice and straight into 1 leg circle. I'm more worried about how well controlled you are. I don't mind how big the circles are. They can be teeny tiny, that is fine. Good. Keep that breath steady. Good. Other direction. Go on. Stick with it. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Rest down. Give the hip a little massage, a little rub, wherever you feel you need. Nice. And then let's bring ourselves round into 4-point kneeling. Let's go through a couple of cat-cows. So we're bringing the chin to the chest, rounding through the spine and pressing ourselves up away from the ground. And then we'll drop the belly and send the eyes and the head to look up and forward. Nice. A few, just with your own breath, moving between those 2 positions. Lovely. Then we'll step the right foot forward so it comes in between both of our hands. We're going to bring the hands up towards the knee or the thigh, and then we're going to shift our hips forward so we can get a nice little stretch through the front of the left thigh. And again, deep breath. Nice. Then from here, we'll shift the hips back. We will allow ourselves to come up onto the heel of the front foot. We'll get a nice little stretch through the hamstring of that front leg. This is when I realize how tight I am, because I'm already feeling the stretch and I'm not even doing anything, but lovely. Then we'll rock the weight forwards again, hands to the thighs, open up through that hip flexor. And rocking the weight back. Lovely. Weight comes forward. Hands are going to place onto the floor, either side of the foot. We're going to tuck the toes of the back leg in and lift the knee. Lovely. Left hand stays planted, right hand's going to sweep up towards the sky. Just come into a nice twist here. Then we'll bring that right hand back down towards the floor, lower the left knee down. We're going to come into pigeon. So right foot comes across to the opposite side of the mat. We might want to scoot the left leg back a little bit and sink the hips down towards the floor. Come onto the forearms, onto your forehead, up on your arms, wherever you want to be. Then we'll unravel ourselves, press ourselves up through our hands, bring ourselves back through that 4-point kneeling, and then bring the left foot forwards between the hands. Hands shift up towards the knee or the thigh, and rocking those hips forward, stretching into that hip flexor. Lovely, let's shift the hips back. Come into that nice hamstring stretch, rocking up onto the heel, pulling the toes up towards the face. Weight shifts forwards. And weight shifts back. Ooh. Lovely, weight shifts forward, hands either side of that front foot, tuck the toes of the back leg, lift the knee. Left arm this time sweeps up towards the sky, we're into our twist. Find a little moment of stillness, looking up towards that top arm. And then we'll lower the hand down, lower the back knee, bring ourselves into our pigeon stretch. Sneaking that back leg further back if we need to, and lowering down. Nice, then from there, let's unravel ourselves. We'll bring us round onto our bottoms. You can find a comfortable seat if that's cross-legged, or if you want your legs out long, however you want to be. Let's bring the hands to the knees, give the eyes a little close. Take a big breath in, grow nice and tall. And then as you exhale, just allow yourselves just to really slump down, round through the spine, bring the chin to the chest. Curl up as much as you feel you can. Inhale, we grow tall. Exhale, we slump down. 2 more, big breath in, grow tall. Exhale, slump down. Last one, up. And let it go. And then just finding a nice tall seat. And then last big breath in through the nose, biggest you've done it all morning. And let it go. Nice, we will wrap things up there. Good job, really nice. I hope that was all right for everybody. I am here on Monday, then I'm not here Wednesday, not here Monday. if that makes sense. Yeah, and then we'll be back onto last Saturdays of the month rather than random Saturdays again next month. Okay, perfect. Enjoy the rest of your day.